Stanley Kubrick knew that there was glass in the sky, and he knew that the universe was inverted. He also was part of the NASA hoax that actually staged the moon hoax, so-called landings, where he actually put a lot of innuendos in the movie The Shining. But when he made 2001 Space Odyssey, at the end of the movie, he left a very clear, to me, clue that there's actually glass in the sky that obfuscates people's perception of the world. Because humanity is in a drunken state. They're in a stupor. They think that Earth is convex and that it spins, and they think that the universe is vast and endless. And what he did, toward the end of the movie in 2001, nobody really got this, but he gives the imagery of the main character, Dave, and he's in a spacesuit, and he's behind glass, right? Okay, notice the yellow and the blue hues. Well, the glass sky is actually yellow, and the blue is the perception of how we see the sky. And so he's looking through the glass, okay? There's other innuendos in other songs, in songs like Inside Out by the Traveling Wilburys, where Bob Dylan and Todd Petty and George Harrison, they talk about the glass sky, seriously. Or there's another song by Stone Sour, Looking at You Through the Glass. At the end of that video, they pull away the prop of the sky and they reveal the true yellow glass sky. So the glass sky obfuscates humanity, their perception of the world and the heavens, from seeing its true form. They're in a drunken stupor. Okay, the imagery and the metaphor that Kubrick uses in 2001 is of the main character, Dave. He's at the end of his life. Okay, he's in this futuristic-looking room with antediluvian furniture, and I believe the floor it's got a translucent glow to it, and that's actually symbolic of the sky, where there's actually ice attached to the glass sky, which actually makes it translucent. Okay, anyway, he's looking through the glass through his spacesuit, and here he is again. He's in the spacesuit, okay? He's still in a drunken state. He's still in a stupor. Fast forward here a little bit for you guys. I want to show you where he's entering the final stages of his life. He sees himself in the future where he's sitting down at the table. Okay, notice that he's looking ahead into his future life, okay? And then he's sitting down there and he's dining. He gets up, he goes to the door, and he looks at his self from a younger state. Then he goes back to the table. Okay, he's going back to the table now. Sits down. Begins to dine again. He's still in a drunken state. Now, it's symbolic. When he takes a sip of the alcohol, that is symbolizing that he's still drunk. He's still in stupor. Okay? He's kind of, he's drunk. He's in a stupid state. Okay, now watch. When he knocks over the glass, boom, glass falls down, glass shatters. Now notice his reaction. He's beginning to wake up. He's beginning to realize he's sober now. He's spiritually sober. He understands. Now he squints, he looks at his image of his extremely old age state laying in the bed. The green is symbolic of nature or serenity or fertility, basically. And he's in his dying stages now, but actually what's happening, it's kind of a paradox because he's actually going back to his embryonic state where he becomes cognizant once again. It's quite interesting, the irony there of being on his deathbed, but then regressing back to his embryonic state, which they will show very shortly here, where they show an image of him in his embryonic state, in his fetal embryonic being, okay, the black wall is symbolic of the blinder, okay, but there is his embryonic state, and he's in a transparent sphere, which also represents the glass, okay? He's looking through the glass, but his eyes are wide awake. He's aware now, okay? But he's looking at the black wall that humanity still sees. He can see the wall. And this is the way humanity views the cosmos, as the false imagery of a convex earth, a vast universe, which is incorrect. But he dies aware. So he's looking at it. See, the glass is actually distorting the earth like a wide-angle lens. But he's cognizant, he's knowing now. He realizes it. Kubrick knew that there's glass in the sky, as well as many of the secret societies, Operation Paperclip, Werner von Braun, and people like that, who founded NASA. And it's one of those things where it's just public incredulity keeps that secret from ever being known publicly, because the general public won't believe that. They're in a drunken stupor state. And it takes a final, on their deathbed, when they finally realize this. There's other innuendos in other movies. Chicken Little by Disney, that 3D animation that was put out a few years ago. Many different innuendos about the glass sky. And actually, I noticed on YouTube, they have the movie in different segments, in different parts. And when I watched the movie in the theaters, I remember one particular part where they were inside the so-called alien spaceship, but they were looking around at different things behind a glass. And there's one quote that they say, "Don't tap the glass. They hate it when you do that." And I was looking for that particular clip because I wanted to include it on my website. And what I noticed is that Disney, or Warner Brothers, they actually pulled that specific section of the movie. And what they did, I'll show you here. Unbelievable what they did, though. They said this video contains content from Disney, who has blocked it on copyright grounds. Okay, I put the quote there. I just made this in Photoshop. A lot of innuendos. You got to pick them up. You got to realize it. Okay? So we got truth hidden, obfuscated through metaphors, through imagery and songs by artistic people that obviously they can't just be very blatant and overt about this. And you got, this is backed by science, scientific facts, okay? Tektites, the origin of tektites, has been a mystery, has been plaguing scientists because they don't understand that there's actually a glass layer in the sky. Fusion crust on meteorites, that's where it forms. It forms because the meteorite is skidding across the glass, causing friction and heat and melting through and encapsulating the meteorite. Auroras, okay? They say that the lower altitude of their auroras is at 62 miles or 100 kilometers. That's the height of the glass. Upper atmospheric lightning that they call sprites, they have a top portion of that that's called elves. Elves is like a disc-like. It just expands like that for a millisecond, basically. And that's at 62 miles high. Okay? There's so much evidence, so much proof that there is a glass sky that happened after the flood, where sand came down along with the water, and the sand, the microscopic particles of sand, fused together in the ionosphere. Yeah, they compare the ionosphere to like a sheet of glass. That's why ham radio waves can reflect off of it and go around to the other side of the world. The glass is there, folks. Libyan desert glass. That's actual pieces of the glass that fell down from the sky. There's so much proof. Ozone generation, that fresh scent that you smell after a thunderstorm, is replicated by air ionizers with glass plates. Same thing. It's electromagnetic reaction caused with glass involved that causes that fresh scent. UV block. Atmosphere blocks ultraviolet light, obviously. So that's what it is. The glass is distorting your perception of the world. It's a divine ruse. And the nations are in a state of stupor, of drunkenness. And that's actually why I got the wine glass sitting on top of the glass sky here on my webpage, where Miss Terry is sitting in front of the wine glass because she knows that the nations are drunk. Just like Dave had the wine glass in the movie 2001. So this is your post-hypnotic epiphany.